here for Munguia. And how many are here for the king of boxing, Canelo Alvarez? It's Canelo versus Munguia. We are just moments away from both fighters stepping onto the scale. But first, I will turn things over to the Hall of Famer, Mr. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and indeed we welcome you as we continue the ceremonial weigh-in. We are here at the Toshiba Plaza, amongst the shadows of the T-Mobile Arena, the site of tomorrow night's big night of action, as Canelo Promotions presents the Cinco de Mayo Weekend Boxing Extravaganza, brought to you in association with Premier Boxing Champions as well. We present the PBC pay-per-view event on Prime and the ceremonial weigh-in. Well, fans, our opening pay-per-view attraction features the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World, and at this time we ask you to please welcome them as they make their way to the stage. First, the world title challenger joins us from Barcelona, Venezuela. Here is the undefeated world rank contender, introducing Gabriel El Capitan Maestre. And now making his way to the stage, the defending champion, hailing from Kaunas,
What's up, guys?
Lithuania. Here is the undefeated WBA welterweight champion of the world, Eimantas Stanionis.
What's up, Armando? Yeah.
And now let's bring our fighters to the scale in this, our first world title attraction of the evening and the opening pay-per-view attraction. At the scale, the weight limit is 147 pounds, a very strict weigh-in limit, as we are fighting for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. First to the scale, with an outstanding and long amateur career, he is undefeated as a professional, 6 wins, no losses, 1 draw with 5 big wins coming by way of knockout. The acclaimed 26 Olympian, the undefeated challenger making the first attempt at a world title, Gabriel El Capitan Maestre. Gabriel Maestre weighs in at 146.8 pounds, 146.8. And out to the scale, his opponent, the defending champion, with a record of 14-0, 9 of his wins coming by way of knockout, the 2016 Olympian, making the first defense of his title, the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Eimantas Stanionis.
I like that fight.
146.6 pounds, 146.6. Momentarily, we're going to have our fighters face off. The last time they'll see each other before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night in our opening attraction. Then we'll hear more from them in a brief question and answer session.
Alex.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, opens up our pay-per-view WBA Welterweight Championship of the World, Eimantas Stanionis versus Gabriel Maestre. And now let's hear from our fighters. I hand the microphone over to respected PBC reporter and boxing pundit, Jordan Plant.
What do you guys think is going to win out of
Thank
this
you,
fight
Jimmy.
right here?
Maestre, you and Stanionis fought in 2015 in the amateurs. It didn't go your way, but how good does it feel to have the opportunity to avenge that loss here in the pros?
So he beat him in the amateurs?
Tuviste una derrota dolorosa, pero ¿qué tan bien se siente el poder vengarla frente a todo este público este sábado por la noche?
Bueno, sí, como ustedes saben, ya nosotros nos vimos las caras en el amateur del 2015. Una pelea fue dura, pero bueno, nada, ya eso pasó. Le dimos ya un borrón en cuenta nueva a eso, como le decimos nosotros los venezolanos. Y ya esto es otra historia, este es boxeo profesional. Y nosotros venimos con todo a buscar ese título el día de mañana.
Look, 2015 was tough, no doubt about it. But now we're both pros. We turned the page, and I can't wait for Saturday night because it's going to be a great fight. I hope I get my redemption, but in a way, it's going to be great to see all the fans here, see how far I've come and how far I'm going to take it against Stanionis.
And what would it mean to you to win the WBA welterweight world title?
¿Qué significaría para ti el poder ganar el título mundial del peso welter de la AMB?
No, significa mucho. Mira, para mí sería un orgullo, ¿no? Llevarme ese título a Venezuela, ya que sería una alegría para toda mi gente de Venezuela y que Venezuela necesita muchos otros campeones mundiales más en el boxeo. Y más aún yo que yo sé que para Venezuela sería importante, ya que sería una alegría, ya que yo le di mucha alegría a mi país cuando estuve en el boxeo amateur. De verdad, mucha alegría. Y me gustaría darle esta alegría más en el boxeo profesional, llevarle el título mundial.
It will mean a lot to me. I've given a lot of happiness to my country as an amateur, and I want to continue doing so. I want to continue making my country proud this Saturday night because you guys mean a lot to me, and I want to give my best for you all because you guys are the best for me.
Thank you so much. Best of luck to you tomorrow night. We're going to head over to Stanionis, and that was Martin Batzer translating for us. Thank you so much. All right, Stanionis. Join me over here, please. You faced him once in the amateurs. You beat him. How do you do it again tomorrow night?
Nothing going to change on Saturday night. I'm going to bring Mexican style and I'm going to have my belt with me.
What did you see in that final face-off when you looked into his eyes?
Nothing, he's ready and I'm glad. The last time my opponent didn't show up, so this one showed up. So I'm very happy and we have a fight. So feels amazing after 2 years.
I know you're excited to be back. We can't wait to see you in the ring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan Plant. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can feel the excitement. We're leading up to the weigh-in for the main event of the evening, but we have 2 more world title fights to bring to you. Amongst the thousands that are here bearing the heat, it's so glad to have you. We have people in the parking lot looking down, watching the weigh-in. T-Mobile Arena balcony as well. So we're ready to bring out our fighters for the next weigh-in in our big night of action. This is our next world title attraction. Please welcome to the stage, first, the challenger, hailing from and making his home right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's the former WBO champion of the world. Please welcome Jesse Magdaleno. And now please welcome to the stage the defending champion from Weslaco, Texas, the former unified super bantamweight world champion, the current WBC interim WBC featherweight world title holder, the heartbreaker Brandon Figueroa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our fighters to the scale. The interim WBC featherweight world title, weight limit is 126 pounds. First to the scale is the challenger. With a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, he has 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be challenging for the featherweight title. Here is the former WBO 122-pound champion of the world, Jesse Magdaleno.
128.6.
Jesse Magdaleno weighs in 128.6 pounds, 128.6. That weight is over the limit. We'll see if that fight will go on. Back to you in just a moment. Now to the scale, the defending champion. His record 24-1-1 with 18 knockouts. The two-division world champion and the current WBC interim featherweight world title holder. The very exciting, the heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa weighs in at 125.4 pounds, 125.4. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been informed there's been a deal made. The fight will go on 12 rounds. Should Jesse Magdaleno win this fight, he will not be able to take the belt, but the fight is on in our second world title attraction tomorrow night. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, for the interim WBC featherweight world title. The heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa versus Jesse Magdaleno. Once again, we're going to hear from both of these fighters. Once again, my pleasure to hand it over to Jordan Plant.
Jesse, good to see you. You're fighting in your hometown in Las Vegas. What is your message to your fans supporting their hometown guy?
To always know that I'm always rooting for you guys. I hope you guys are rooting for
Jesse
me.
Magdaleno
Let's bring this victory home and let's bring these titles home.
Fight for the belt.
What are you looking to prove tomorrow night?
That I'm the better fighter. That I'm gonna be the better person. You know, I feel ready. I'm mentally ready, physically ready, and let's get this going.
We'll see you in the ring tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
If you
Good
was
luck.
physically ready, mentally ready, you would have made weight.
Brandon, good to see you again. One more sleep until you step through those ropes. I know you've got to be excited. What can fans expect to see from you tomorrow night?
Estamos listos, bien preparados y pues siempre darle a los fans un buen show.
Magdaleno seems very confident against you. What's your message to him?
No, won't be the champion.
I'm just ready. I know it's going to be a great fight. I'm coming with everything, and I want to take the victory back to the 956.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow night in the ring. Thank you so much. Good luck.
That's why you got to be professional.
Thank you, Jesse Magdaleno and Brandon Figueroa. Well, fans, from the Toshiba Plaza, we continue with another World Championship attraction and the ceremonial weigh-in, reminding you that tomorrow night's action is sponsored by Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, only in theaters May 24th, by Valu, Casa de Bolsa, and by O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people. Well, fans, let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First, the challenger, joining us from Margarita, Santa Fe,
he's a
Argentina.
Dumbass, man.
He's the challenger
There was your shot at a world title,
rank
and you didn't
contender.
want to make
Please
weight.
welcome Fabian TNT Maidana.
That's not being professional right there. If you ask me, he needed to make that weight.
And we bring his opponent, the defending champion, to the stage at this time from San Antonio, Texas. The former WBA super lightweight world champion and the current WBC interim welterweight champion, introducing Mario El Azteca Barrios.
This is the fight I want to see right here. I want to see if Mario Barrios can still remain champion, defend it, and let's see if the fight was announced that.
Well, this showdown in the welterweight division for the interim WBC welterweight championship has a weight limit of 147 pounds. We invite our fighters to the scale at this time. First, the challenger with a record of 22 wins, only 2 losses, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be making his first attempt at a world title. Please welcome the battle-ready world-ranked challenger, Fabian TNT Maidana.
It's all right, baby.
146.2.
Fabian Maidana weighs in at 146.2 pounds. 146.2. And now his opponent, with a record of 28 wins, 2 losses, 18 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the popular interim WBC welterweight world champion El Azteca, Mario Barrios.
I went in and I checked my membership thing. I'm trying to see what you're talking about, so that I could fix it.
146 pounds, 146.6.
And I was going in on the side right now, but
for the interim
I don't
WBC
see
welterweight
exactly anything.
championship of the world.
So after this and shit, remind me, and we'll chat and shit. See if I can fix everything. I would have loved to been there to cover these guys right here. Word up. This is gonna be a good fight right here. Oh yeah.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Co-main event of the evening, Mario Barrios versus Fabian Maidana. Jordan Plant, once again, let's hear from both of our fighters.
It's been almost 5 years since you fought here in the States. How excited are you to be back showcasing your skills on the biggest stage in boxing?
Han pasado casi 5
It's a
años
pretty
desde que
good,
peleaste
decent
aquí en
fight
Estados
card.
Unidos. ¿Qué tan
There's a lot
emocionado
of good
estás
Mexican
por poder
fighters
volver a
on the
demostrar tu
card.
capacidad aquí
You
en
know,
una de
when
las
you
mecas
get
del
Mexican
boxeo?
fighters,
Bueno,
you're
la
gonna
verdad
get
que
exciting fighters. They're gonna go in
Primero que
and
nada,
brawl.
buenas tardes a todos y nada, muy contento, muy feliz de estar acá peleando nuevamente en Las Vegas
And
y
especially that you get the
en
top
esta gran
guys fighting
cartelera, ¿no?
like
Y también
that.
disputando un título del mundo. Así que nada,
I
muy
really think
contento.
that Mario Barrio
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy
fight
to
could
be
steal the
here
night.
fighting in this great card for a world title in front of all of you all, and I can't wait for Saturday night. Thank you so much.
You said in fighter meetings that you want to make a name for yourself. What would it mean to you to win the interim WBC title?
¿Qué significaría para vos el poder ganar el título interino del WBC esta vez, este sábado?
Bueno, nada, la verdad que sería un sueño cumplido, ¿no? La verdad que quiero ser campeón, así que nada, venimos a dejar todo y a llevarnos el título para Argentina.
I'm going to leave it all in the ring. That's my goal. I'm going to just do my best, and my goal is to give the title to Argentina, bring the belt back to my home country.
Yes. What's your prediction for this fight?
Predicción para esta pelea, vaticinio.
This is why
vamos a ganar
Saul
esa pelea, vamos a llevarnos el
Canelo
título para
fights
Argentina.
on this day.
I'm going to win
He
this
always
fight, and I'm
fights
going to bring
on
the title back to
Cinco de
Argentina.
Mayo all the
Thank you
time
so
and
much.
shit
Good luck
because
tomorrow
it's
night.
such a big
Muchas
day
gracias, suerte.
for them, and then to put up, you know, one of their most
Mario
renowned
Barrios,
fighters
everyone.
to
Mario,
fight
so
on
good
that
to
day.
see you. Back at T-Mobile
Really,
Arena. This is where your last fight was. Big stage, co-main event to Canelo versus Munguia. When you run this fight through your head,
Let me hear
how
what
do
he
you see
has
it
to
playing
say. I
out?
want to say something.
With my hand being raised.
You want to get into more details? Are you going to be working that jab as much as you were in your last fight, especially against Ugas? I was so impressed. You were just pumping the jab the entire fight.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna go in there, you know, try to fight smart, but I never shy away from a firefight. I know my Maidana's coming with a lot to prove, but like I said, you know, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, you know, to make sure the strap goes back to San Antonio.
And you're expecting a baby girl in August. Congrats to you and Omaira. I know that's got to add some extra motivation. Did you feel any more added motivation this camp going into this fight?
Yeah, definitely. Both of us are very excited for this next chapter. I actually had something to look forward to after this fight, but you know, first things first, I had to handle business on Saturday.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Mario. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
You guys want to know something that
Thank you, Jordan Platt. Thank you to our fighters. The co-main event's going to be a very exciting one. Do not miss it. Reminding you, tomorrow night's pay-per-view portion of our event begins at 5 p.m. That's local time, 8 p.m. Eastern, of course. And we have a full night of streaming fights beforehand on Prime Video. And you can come early because we have a wealth of boxing taking place early on in the afternoon. Make it a very special Cinco de Mayo weekend boxing extravaganza taking place tomorrow night. Well, we've done it once before. We'll do it one more time because guess what's coming up next? We're going to bring our fighters in shortly, but if you are here and supporting the challenger, Jaime Munguia, let's hear it from you. Who's for Jaime Munguia? Big crowd here, scattered out there as well. And the Munguia chant continues. And now we move on to the defending champion, El Orgulloso Guerrero de Guadalajara. Here's who is here for Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Probably like all up in the nosebleed and shit, probably. There's probably still a couple.
Tremendous support for the four-time world champion.
I should go in and check Ticketmasters just to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to bring out the fighters for the main event of the evening as Canelo Promotions and Premier Boxing Champions presents the ceremonial weigh-in for the PBC pay-per-view featured bout brought to you by Canelo Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Golden Boy Promotions and Xanther Boxing Promotions and presented by Corona Premier, the exceptional light beer. It's fight night, light it up. By VMC Tequila Cocktails, El Origen Ante Todo. By El Mexicano Brand Products, bringing authentic sabor to your table, Somos El Mexicano. And
Freddie Roach, you need to tell me you allowed your guy to miss weight, Freddie Roach.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's bring our fighters to the stage. First, please welcome, from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, the hard-hitting world-ranked contender, the
if you didn't know, for a world title fight, you get 2 chances to make weight. You get 2 shots. For every other fight, you don't get 2 shots. He looks pretty big. 168 though. Why does he need to look so deplenished? You know, usually when fighters go to walk on stage, they're like this. They're like sunk in, ripped abs and everything. You didn't come out here to miss weight, kid. We're about to find out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the superstar of boxing from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the 4-division world champion, boxing first and only undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, El Orgulloso Guerrero de Guadalajara, Saul Canelo.
Yo, damn, bro, I gotta pass it now. You know what I'm saying? You input in on this, man. Alright? Hey, yo, you got 5 on it? You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, you lucky you my homeboy, alright? You lucky you with Round 1 Sports Talk, alright? You know what I mean? Here you go. Look at Saul. Hold on. Let's give Saul his respect. There, man. That's a champion. as the champion. As a matter of fact, we need to twist up a new one. This was a little too small to be grabbing with your fingertips. We don't be burning our fingertips around here. Come on, show all them pretty belts. Where the belts at? Look at his green belt. Is that the franchise? They be hooking it up, designing it every different way for different fights. They take the WBC and they trick it out. And the way they get away with that, they say, oh, it's the franchise, you know. It's a trophy belt. That's why we don't do it for everybody else. We only do it for certain fighters.
Undisputed super middleweight championship
Remember when
of the world. The weight limit is
the WBC did it for Mayweather? They made him like the $1 million belt when he fought Conor McGregor. It was real gold, real diamonds. Allegedly, the belt was somewhere close to valued at almost like $1 million with all the rubies and diamonds in it. The whole face on the WBC was gold. It wasn't like really solid, you know. It was hollow. The inside was like a plate, but it was gold. Mayweather got that belt. 167.
The hard-hitting Munguia weighs in at 167.4
He may wait. He may wait, bro. He may wait. 167, 168 is the weight division. He may wait, bro.
With a record of 60 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, 39 of his wins coming by way of knockout.
Nice.
Making his 25th
he may wait, baby.
That
was bullshit. Jaime Munguia may wait.
Welcome the reigning and defending
yeah, I told you Freddie Roach wasn't gonna let that happen.
Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Let's see if he makes weight. Yeah, he made it comfortably. He had his sweatpants on. 166.
166.8 pounds.
He made it comfortably. He even weighed in with his pants extra. He might even be a little lighter. You see the guy telling him, yo, you weighed in with your pants on, whatever, like that. He pointed at his pants. He was good. Oh, we got ourselves a fight. We got ourselves a fight. And the belts are on the line, baby. The belts are on the line. Titles are on the line. Let's get it, baby. All right, we're going to talk about this a little bit. Armando, what you think, man? What you think? Without pants, 1 pound less? Yeah. Well, you know, years ago, we would say that because usually typically pants would weigh that much and shit. But the pants nowadays with the cheap-ass material, they don't really weigh that much.
Tomorrow night for the main event of the evening.
It's not even like a half a pound. Oh, let me get this face off.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world.
He's 6 feet tall, man. Look how much taller he is than Saul.
Versus Jaime Munguia.
You guys notice one thing?
And now once again, let's hear from our fighters.
Do you guys notice one thing?
My pleasure to hand it over once
Check
again
it out.
to Jordan.
Where's Oscar De La Hoya?
Jordan, take it away.
Where's Oscar De La Hoya on that stage?
Give Jaime a second to get his clothes on.
Where is he?
Jaime, right here.
Yeah, these are 2 professionals. This is what professionalism looks like right here. There's no waiting missed.
Martin will translate for
No
us again.
excuse for steroids. Guys, I
Tomorrow
shouldn't have
night,
took this.
you have
We're
the
going to
chance
talk
to
some
change
about
your life
that.
and become the undisputed
With
super
Ryan.
middleweight champion of the world. How surreal is this moment for you?
Tu vida podría llegar a cambiar mañana por la noche como campeón indiscutido de
Fucking
las
right, your life will change,
168
kid.
libras.
You're
¿Qué tan
damn right, your
surreal
life
es este
will
momento
change.
para ti?
No, la
Tomorrow
verdad
night,
que
you
estoy
have
muy
the opportunity to
emocionado,
be a Hall
es
of
una gran
Famer.
oportunidad y la voy a aprovechar al máximo y mañana voy a ser campeón del mundo.
That's right. Let's fucking go,
I'm
kid.
so excited.
Se
It's a
acabó
great
el abuso.
opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of it to the fullest, and tomorrow I'm going to be the new world champion.
Se acabó el abuso ahora. It's time to pass
Standing
the
next to you right
torch.
now, I can feel an
I like Saul
overwhelming
Canelo
amount
Alvarez,
of
but I had
confidence
enough of his
coming
ass.
from you. Where does
Tell
that
you the
come from?
truth.
¿De dónde viene esta
Respect him
confianza
as a
tan
fighter.
abrumadora que ella
He
siente de
wins,
tu
he
parte?
wins,
Ella
you
con una
know,
energía muy fuerte.
You know,
No, la verdad,
he's
pues
favored in the
proviene de
fight.
toda
I
mi
get it.
preparación, de toda la gente, de todo mi
But,
equipo, de mi familia, de toda la
you know, I
gente que
think
vino a
it's time to see
apoyarme,
another face.
de todo México. La verdad, confío en la preparación que hice, entonces de ahí viene.
That's what I'm talking about.
The energy is from the preparation
in
that
my
I had,
training.
which I trust to the
I knew
fullest.
Freddie
It's
Roach
from my
wasn't going to
team,
allow him
from
to
my
miss weight,
family,
man.
from
I didn't
all of you
think
guys
Freddie
here
Roach was going to
supporting
go
me, cheering
down
me
as
on.
the head man
And
in
that's
charge
the
of
energy
that
you feel
camp
right now.
and
One
allow
more sleep
Munguia
until
to
you
come.
step through
I
those
didn't
ropes.
believe it.
What's your
I
final
said it
message
when you
to
told me.
Canelo
I was like,
and
I
your
don't
fans?
believe it.
Solamente falta
I didn't-
una
I
noche
didn't-
para
I didn't
ingresar al
believe
ring. ¿Cuál es tu mensaje
Freddie
para
Roach
Canelo
is,
o para los fans
is
a
Freddie
menos de
Roach for a
24 horas de la
reason.
pelea?
You
Bueno,
pay
pues
that man
decirles a
$2
todos que
million
mañana va a
and
vibrar
up to
México, va a
train
vibrar el
you.
boxeo. Va a
He's
ser una
not the
va a
type
ser
of
una gran pelea.
boxing
Muchas
coach
gracias a
you're
toda la
gonna
gente
get
que nos está
for
apoyando.
fucking 10
Y viva
Gs.
México.
Nah. Freddie Roach is probably getting $2 million
It's gonna be a
for
great
this fight. You
Thank
better
you to
believe
everyone
it.
who comes out and support us.
And
most
to
of
get
all,
paid
viva
$2 million
Mexico.
to train
Thank you so
Munguia
much. Best of
and
luck
for you
tomorrow
to
night.
miss
you.
weight, that reflects on Freddie Roach. There was no way. I was like, come on, bro. I had to see that before I believed
The
that.
undisputed
I was
super
like,
middleweight
man,
champion of the
listen.
world, Canelo Alvarez. Earlier this week, you said you feel the best you've ever felt in your career. 64 fights in. How
I
do
hope
you
so.
feel the best ever when you're
Look
so
at him
deep
belts.
in this?
He's got the ring side up
I feel
there
really
too.
good. I feel
Well,
in
the
my prime.
WBC
I
looks
feel in my
normal.
best because I
Doesn't
have no
look tricked
injuries
out.
anymore. So I feel in my best right now, and I'm gonna show you guys in Saturday night.
I like that
So you said
WBO
no
back there.
injuries, you're
Notice
feeling
the
in your best. So will this be the
WBO?
best
He's got
version
the
of Canelo?
WBO
We will see
Super.
tomorrow night.
Not a lot of fighters
I
get that
think,
belt.
I'm in my best
Terrence
shape.
Crawford had it.
We know you bring out the
Most
stars.
fighters get the
Can you give
regular,
the fans any hints on
which is
who's
the
walking
big.
to the ring with you
That's
tomorrow
a
night?
that's a real world title.
Luis
I'll
R.
explain later.
Conríquez va a estar conmigo mañana, va a estar caminando ahí con una canción nueva que me hizo. Es un honor para
Check
mí
it out.
y espero que todo
Notice the
México
gold
disfrute
rim
de
on
esta
the
pelea
bottom of
porque
the
es
belt.
para ellos.
You
¡Que
see
viva
how it's
México,
white
cabrones!
here? Look at on his. It's gold.
I'm going
It's
to let
gold.
Martin
And the
translate
plate
for
is
that
bigger.
for us real
I'll tell
quick.
you why in a minute.
Martin?
All right, so I'm so happy to be here. I want all of Mexico to enjoy this fight. It's going to be a great time, and most of all, viva México, cabrones!
Your love for your fans is evident.
Yeah,
you
that
love
was all
them.
rumors,
You
baby.
put on a great
I'm glad
performance
it
for them
was.
every time, and you know they pay hard money to watch you fight. What's your message to them before you step in the ring versus Jaime Munguia?
No, they know I'm gonna put my best. I'm gonna put all my experience, my talent, and win the fight. Win and I hope they all enjoy this fight because it's for Mexico.
You
And maybe
notice the
celebrate on
ribbon
Sunday for Cinco de
on the
Mayo?
WBO
Yeah, why not?
title.
All right,
see
thank
the
you so
ribbon?
much. Good luck to you tomorrow
You see
night.
it? Watch when he
Undisputed
moves his head. See
champion,
that
Canelo
ribbon
Alvarez,
underneath?
everyone.
You see it? You barely see that type of WBO title. That's the big dog. And then that WBA with the two lions, that's the super
Well,
one.
fans, on behalf of Canelo
Yeah, the regular
Promotions,
one
Premier
has the
Boxing
round
Champions,
rim
TGB
like
Promotions, Golden
like
Boy
that,
Promotions,
and it has two
Zunfer
like
Boxing
lions on
Promotions.
it, but they're
We thank
small.
you very much for your
The
attendance
super
here. A very
one
exciting
has
weigh-in
these
indeed,
huge,
and a very exciting
big
night of boxing
lines
taking
on the
place
WBA
tomorrow
when it's the
night right here
WBA
at the
Super.
T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah.
You can see that pay-per-view.
Let's talk about it,
on
guys. Let's talk
Prime
about it.
Video. Join us as we start 5 p.m. local time is our start time for.
So, like, for as far as world titles go, sometimes we look at these world titles and if you're not informed and no one ever told you about this, you wouldn't know the difference between some of these belts because they're very similar in appearance, right? But I'm here to teach you and help you to learn the difference when you see certain kind of belts, so that you look at it and you go, oh, that's an interim belt, and you'll know, or you'll look at it and say that's a real world title. Now, in some boxing organizations, they have what they call in their structure regular champions, and that is a real world title. In some cases, that's a real world title. You become the regular champion, meaning if you were to compete for the WBO regular world champion and you was to win it, that's how you get it. You become the regular. In order to become the super WBO, what Canelo has, you have to defend their title multiple times. Successful title defenses. Then they send you in the mail a new version of your WBO title. They'll put this down here gold, and they put a ribbon and it says super, which means you've been battle tested. Your title is that of a title that of a champion that's been battle tested. In other words, you have to earn the super belt. Same way with the WBA. Same rule structures. They kind of follow the same. The WBA and WBO, and they separate in some areas because the WBO, you can challenge the above champion under their structure, but you can't do that with theirs. You see? So in their belt, when you see the regular, it will have like all the fixings on it, right? And the round plate, and all the diamonds on the top. And then when you successfully defend that more than once, they'll send you the super, and it has the huge lines on the side. Yeah, and that's just a super version. As far as the IBF and the WBA, they're probably the hardest to determine. They're probably because the WBA, they really be playing games with their belt. They play a lot of games because it shouldn't be this way, right? Because it's really hard to figure out which one of their belts is which because for instance, the WBA's I mean the WBC I'm sorry, I'm saying the WBA. WBC is hard to figure out from the other ones because the WBC Super has a huge gold plate like that, and it's gold. And as you can see, Mario Barrio just got on the stage with the WBC Interim, and his has a gold plate. And it's the WBC Gold or WBC Interim. They put different names. They have a WBC Silver, but the silver plate is actually silver. So you can determine that one. You see? And then they have like a WBC Intercontinental, something like that. And then they got the WBC Youth Champion. You see, but when you see those belts, they're like, they take a lot of stuff off of them, and you could clearly see, yeah, that's not a full WBC world title. But where it gets confusing is because Mario Barrio just got on stage, and right in front of you, if you were watching my live stream and you watched the belt when Mario Barrio walked up to the dude, it looks like a real WBC world title, didn't it? They didn't look like there was nothing different from his belt to this belt. It absolutely looks nothing different. And I guess if I was up close, maybe they might have something that says it on it real small somewhere on the belt. I'm not sure because I'm not close enough to really inspect it. But if I was looking at it, I would be able to tell you. But sometimes they don't. I noticed right in the ring when he's like this, Mario Barrio got the belt on. Bro, there is absolutely nothing different between that belt and their super belt. So that unfortunately I can't, but yeah, yeah. What's up, man? This this was a yes, yeah, 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 Yeah. They basically already knew what the fighters weigh on this weigh in right here. That's what I talked about in my other video. When Ryan Garcia got on that stage and he had his shorts on and he drank that alleged beer, right? Which I said, well, you guys really don't know what was in that bottle. There could have been water in that bottle, right? And he got on, he already had missed weight behind the scenes. That weight is already established from the morning one, right? But in fact, Devin Haney, um, just they had that one in the afternoon. I found out because they weighed in the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia one like 25 minutes before they actually hit the stage. It wasn't like that morning where they could already had started the rehydration process. They brought Devin Haney all the way out until like 2 o'clock before they actually weighed him. Then they hit the stage, and then you can start trying to re high, and then usually it's a 36-hour window. It's more than 24 hours because of what we talked about the brain being the last organ in the human body to take water in. It's the first to let all your water out. It's the last to absorb it. And if you're dehydrating, your brain don't have the proper hydration and water, you'll get knocked out that much faster. So that was trickery back in the days that coaches would try to like really weigh you out to that way you come in dehydrated more. You see, so now what they do nowadays is you get a 36-hour window, meaning from the time you weigh in until like 11:30 at night the next day. You know what I mean? You're counting all that time. You weigh in the morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. You start rehydrating, you do the rest of that day, and then you basically got the rest of that other day, but you're going to want to stop eating, I don't know, 6 o'clock at night. You might want to stop eating, you know, and then to make the rest of the weight. You don't want to go into the fight with a full stomach at all. So, there's a process. And when they said that, and all right, um, who all right told me, right? He was like, yo, I think Munguia may miss weight because Armando told me. He said, yo, I think he missed weight. I was like, oh no. I was like, nah, don't tell me that. Because there was some rumors flying around and shit. And he was trying to check it out while we was watching it and shit. But I don't think he could find it. And he just got on and we realized at the same time that he did in fact make the weight and shit. So we were like, nah, but and I found that odd too. And I was like, man, Freddie Roach ain't gonna allow that shit to happen. That's gonna reflect bad on your coach. That reflects on your coach when you miss weight. Man, who's in charge of your team? Your coach. All right, then. You don't pay Freddie Roach all that money to miss weight. Uh-uh. That would be huge. As a fighter, if I was like Saul Canelo Alvarez and you came into the biggest fight I had to offer you and you miss weight on me, that would speak volumes about your preparation, your team, your coach, you know. Um, and I would use that leading into the fight to get into their head. I'd be like, yo, you guys are not professionals. Yeah, I'd get really into his head and shit. But yeah, man. Oh, in a way this week, you know it all right, baby. Woo. Now y'all no listen. We're talking about a fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez and Munguia. But if you want to see some action, listen, that Japanese dude is about that action, okay? Uh, there's gonna be a lot of big fights, you know, in between these next couple days because basically it's like a day and a wake up to watch Naoya anyway, seeing that his fight card is gonna start at like 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. I anticipate Naoya Inoue entering the ring anywhere between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. I wouldn't chance that. You know what I mean? I would wake up. If I was gonna play it safe, I would wake up around 5 because I don't think 3 fights are gonna go by in an hour. right? So, right around there, if you just want to watch his fight, I mean, if you want to watch the whole fight card, the main event, and you don't want to watch no prelims, the fight card itself is going to start at 4. So, yeah, um, there's 4 fights on the main fight card. His little brother's going to fight. Jason Maloney's going to fight. I forget. I think it's another Japanese guy fighting for his title. And then after that, I'm gonna stick around later and try to find the Emmanuel Rodriguez fight. And on that card, Naoya Inoue's cousin was supposed to be fighting the other Inoue, the cousin one. I'm not sure if he's fighting anymore, and I think that they took him off the card. I had to check back onto that, and I forgot all about that until I kind of started talking right now. So I needed to look more into that. So don't hold me on that. But I believe his cousin's off. Something happened. I don't know. Something was going. I was said about that, and that's why a couple fights got changed around, and Inoue's kid brother got put on his card to begin with. So I remember reading about something like that in a Japanese tabloid thing. So I got to check it out. Do you think this whole thing with Ryan Garcia will ruin Naoya fight? Hell no. Hell no. There's not. Ryan doesn't have that much power in boxing to take away from one of the highest paid boxers and arguably one of the faces of boxing as Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know, by the time they start making their ring walk, that Ryan Garcia thing will be yesterday's news. And then as soon as we get the outcome, say Jaime Munguia pulls the biggest upset of the year, right? That would crush that little steroid stupid thing. There would be too many people talking about the new champion and how he did it and this, that, and if Oscar's going to spring back, there'll be too much. One day later, you mean to tell me that another Mexican is fighting for another 4 belts? Bro, the world is anticipating to see this Japanese superstar. The only thing is that we want him in America, and they're waiting to see what he says. If Naoya Inoue announces that his next fight, 1, is going to be in America, and 2, it's going to be in a new weight division because Terrence Crawford went up 1, the whole world's going to go crazy. I don't. Ryan who? Ryan, who's Ryan? What are you talking about? Because I'm talking about real shit. You know what I mean? I saw Ryan on YouTube this morning showing a bottle of pills, saying, "My bad, guys, I shouldn't have took this." He's already trying to find a way out. I think he might have did it. I seen athletes do that dumb shit. Then he points at the bottle and tries to show you the ingredients. Yo, no sooner that he did that, the company of the product that he's pointing at, the CEO of the company that makes that product typed out, "Yo, don't try to stick this on us. What you tested positive for is not in our bottle. That ingredient that you're showing a bottle with a bunch of ingredients, but what you got bagged for is not in our bottle. So don't try to put this on us." So they quickly came out and said, so if Ryan don't know where it came from, but he's already admitting there's something in his system, he's trying to find a way out. He's no longer arguing, did I have something in my system? Now he's trying to find something to blame. You see, when Romero from the UFC got popped dirty, he never, ever, ever, ever conceded in the notion that he had something or might had something in his blood. When they said to him, "Well, you might have drank something that got you dirty," and he said to them, "Well, prove it to me." Prove it that I drank something to get me dirty. Let's find what that was. And they found it. See, Ryan Garcia is already going. They're saying, nah, you're dirty. And he's like, man, what could I be dirty? Oh, guys. Yeah. I shouldn't have. Look, you know what? My bag. I shouldn't have drank this. And the people that make it were like, yo, what are you trying to say? Nah, you ain't blaming us for your bullshit. That's our product. Why don't you test our product and see if that shit's in there? You see? So he might have took something, whatever it is, right? And then I want you to know something about drugs, right? And how some drugs work in the human body. Okay. I'm not sure if every drug works exactly like this, but I'm pretty sure it breaks down to what I'm about to say. Meaning, if you were to take a hard drug, I don't know, name any drug, like cocaine, heroin, crystal meth, fucking, I don't know, what are the major drugs in the world? Yeah, those are like the top ones, right? Right? Okay. So what I do know is that if you take a drug and you don't take it no more and they test you, you're gonna pop dirty for the drug, whatever it is, right? But after a time, if they were to go back and test you again, that drug breaks down in your body to different things. Like I've heard, like the drug will break down into like what will be described as like a morphine after a while. Then it'll break down to another thing. So, meaning the way they was catching some of these athletes, they weren't catching them by the actual steroid itself. The way they were catching them was the remnants of it, like what it broke down in your body too. And if your body doesn't make that, there was only one way that breaks down to it, and then they start to follow the trail like that because they know that you're coming off a cycle. They know that those drugs in your body are going to break down eventually to this, and they're able to determine all these weird shit like that. So I've seen shit like that happen. So it could have been that he took one particular drug and it broke down in his system after he was cycling out, and what they caught were the after effects, and the after effects gave it a positive to this kind of steroid. And then when they further look, they're going to find out later, because they'll do better testing. They'll do better testing. And I'm telling you right now, if he fights this, the more you fight it, the better the testing is going to get. And they're going to be able to determine exactly what you did. Like exactly to the point. The difference between guys that fought it like Jose Canseco and Roger Clemens. See, here's the thing with those guys that fought it, and the reason why they fought it, right? They never actually pissed dirty. You never popped Roger Clemens with a bad test, a steroid test. What you got him was other people accusing him of buying him and taking him. And when Victor fucking Content there got busted, he gave out a list of athletes and he just told on them. But they never legitimately bagged them. They got Ryan's pee and blood. You see, there's a difference. Like these dudes was arguing like, hold up, you're only accusing me on hearsay because you're saying that he sold me, or you're saying that he gave me, he provided this from this year to this year, and he's saying that shit. But what did you guys catch me with? See, there was a difference when they was fighting it, but they got a tube of Ryan's blood. You better believe it. And men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That T cell number is going to say, toot, 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 steroid. And he's not going to be able to get around it. And if he keeps fighting it, they're going to send it to better labs, and the better labs is going to even determine at that point whether you injected it, put it in your mouth, you sniffed it, you drank it. They're going to be able to determine that. Yes, they will. These tests are motherfuckers, bro. Bro, they'll take a drop of your blood and tell you where your grandmother was born at. Yo, I'm trying to tell you. Yo, yeah, man. Listen, and those probation officers and parole officers' tests are like they got probably the most basic tests that the world has. And you would think, and they bust motherfuckers hard with those tests. That's how good those tests are. They'll bag you. You know what I mean? But to tell you the truth, their test work is not that good. But if you want to lie to the probation officer and he tells you, yo, you want me to send your pee to the lab? As soon as he says, I'll send that shit to the lab, that lab one, no, that's top notch. That's top notch. That's way better than them little cups and little things that they got in the office. That little kit set, that can bring back a false positive. That's not as accurate as that lab work. Now, if you living right and you know you peed in that cup and you not and you good, you send it to the lab. I dare you. They're gonna have to apologize to you because you're gonna be standing on your square. You know what you put in your body, right? But now you know you live in foul. And he said, listen, check it out. I'll straighten out my act. Chill. Oh no, you start doing this. This is what I put in my system. I should have never put this. It was my probate. It was this. I should have never drank this. Yeah, man. That's a long time, man. So you know the rules, baby. You know what's crazy? That snack shit was with Ryan and Devin and a lot of popular boxers. Yeah, that Victor dude, bro. Listen, bro. Let me tell you something about a man like Victor Conta, right? When I saw him for the first time back then, I was young. I really didn't understand how to read body language or to like read a person's character. That had to come with street etiquette. Like like the streets taught me that. I, unfortunately, I came across some of the best con artists in the world, and some of the I met some real serious people, and I met people that um may look weak to you, act weak, but were very dangerous, and all types of walks of life through my life. And life's taught me that. Life's taught me never judge a book by its cover. You never know what spider web you could fall under. You walk into some place and all of a sudden you tied up in a basement somewhere and you got gas. Yo, you need to be on your P's and Q's whenever you're doing anything in life, right? This world should have taught you that, right? So when, you know, uh, when you got a man like him, he, yeah, I don't think he did it for the money, so to speak. He did it for the power to know that these athletes needed him. Every time they won something with his little serum, he would watch on TV. It would be like he was winning inside. The rush of getting his athlete on the podium to get a gold medal motivated him. He's just a drug dealer. He came out. and he needed to find a new way to peddle his drugs. Vada, they went under like, you ever watched that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he was like a 17-year-old kid and he was pretending to be everything and he was forging checks? He was only 17 years old, and that's a true based on a true story. He just had the smarts and he had a different vision, and he lived the kind of life that most people would fantasize, but it was all crook shit, right? So what did the airline and those kind of peoples did in the FBI? Instead of putting him in jail for a long time, they gave him a job to be able to detect fraud. And he became like one of the world leading fraud detectors and shit because he was so good at it. It was like an art for him. That's the same thing like this dude, Victor. This is an art for him to be able to, it gets him off to know that he can beat the system, that he developed a drug that's undetectable. That's like his life's work. So Vada goes and hire him right out of prison, and they figure rather than allowing him just to run around crazy, why don't we hire him and he'll teach us how to catch these guys. How did you go by so many years undetected? So little by little, that's what Victor's doing at that job. He's teaching Vada how to catch athletes, but at the same time, strengthening and conditioning mad athlete still. A man that was accused and he is the king of steroids, by the way. If you were to look up steroids or PEs, you'd see a picture of Victor like this. He's the godfather of it all. So you mean to tell me that he came out of jail and said, I'm going to change my ways. I'm starting a new leave in life, but you're going to give me a job around the very shit I invented. But I can't touch it? Bro, I invented that shit. The shit you guys are trying to bust and like take down, that's all my work. That's my life work. But now I'm going to get a job and I'm going to tear it down. Or am I going to get the job? I'm going to see how you guys are tearing my shit down that it took me a lifetime to make. And secretly, I'm going to make another serum better than that serum. Yeah, motherfuckers. You'll see, right? Right? Yo. Super serum. Yo. Yo, we gotta talk about this. El Chapo of steroids. That's Victor. That's Victor. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man, Boogie? 380 hours of community service. Did 200 cookies for. Yo! Man, I gotta tell you, catch me if you can. You won't be able to catch you, Boogie, because you'll be on the super serum. They won't be able to catch you. Hey, yo. Yeah, man. So, like, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, they got pictures with him, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, all the big dogs. All the big dogs be with him, you know. And I guess what he says, I remember watching Devin Haney, and Devin Haney said in a thing, yeah, Victor gave me some vitamins. I feel great today. Yeah, they call them vitamins. I'm not gonna say that those were steroids. Maybe he was giving them Victor came up with a way to make legit vitamins that are good now in his quest, but I don't think so, bro. That kind of man, bro, he doesn't do it for that. He's not more thrived by that. He wants to know that he can finally make a super serum that could turn a superhuman. You know, that's his life work. I've seen men like this before. He's not clean at all. And there's nothing that anyone can tell me that can convince me. He's just like that sideshow Bob that wanted to kill fucking Homer. I mean, Bart Simpson. He talked good, like he cleaned up his act, but as we can all see, he had it in for Bart. All right. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna have to call my man up. Cause what's this? Sticks? Huh? Yeah. I think you owe me $5 back, bro. That's some bullshit right now. So tell me, guys, man, what do you guys think? Do you guys really think that Jaime looked good? Jaime looked good in the weigh-in. Um, the height is good. I loved his height, 6 feet tall, man. I like that against Saul Canelo Alvarez. I really do. I think that he's gonna really try to get under Jaime Munguia's jab. The one thing that I hope that Freddie Roach corrected was that Jaime Munguia, and this is real alarming for me, right? Because I was gonna talk about this the other day, but I was like, Jaime Munguia has a certain fighting style that is just you. It's just you as a fighter, and it wasn't corrected early on in his career. He fought too long with it, where that when he throws his jab, he leans into his jab. He's leaning and he's putting his face and his chin too far out there with the jab, rather than standing more straight and just popping the jab from here, but staying defensively live. His upper body and his chin is passing his front foot. You can't lean into your jab like that and be too far out. And he was doing it in the fight with Ryder still. That's the most alarming thing about my concern about Jaime Munguia. If he steps and leans with his jab too much, that his top body is going past, you know what I'm saying? It's leaning too far into it. Canelo Alvarez is gonna knock him out. That's a big flaw and a mistake he has to correct. And what led me to believe that's a big he's been fighting like that his whole career. That's just how he throws that punch. For as many coaches that have been around him, maybe they've been trying to teach him, but it's a hard habit for him to break. As you can see, if he gets hit hard in the fight or whatever, he diverts right back into his old ways. And when your body, see, when you're in the first rounds, you're your strongest. You're the best focused and everything. In the middle rounds, depending how the pace of the fight was going, if Saul was really pushing the pace, you were fighting off the back foot, you were throwing a lot of punches, more than your average. And by the 6-8 round, you're tired. Now that's when your technique can start to fall apart. You see, so now he's not as sharp. And when you're not as sharp, you kind of have a tendency of diverting right back to the fighter, because you're comfortable, even when you were tired. And in those moments, he's going to lean too much. Saul's going to hit him with an uppercut, and he's going to shake Munguia. And then when Munguia looks up like this, it's going to be too late. He's going to hit him with them shots, and he's going to drop him. Depending how hard he hit him, how hurt he is, if he's able to get up, Saul's going to try to put the pressure on him. But for some reason lately, Saul can't get the knockout once he got the guy hurt. It's like, he wants to move in to knock him out, but he's just not like that closer like he once was. Or once upon a time ago, I would say if Saul had you hurt, it was a wrap. But of lately, like the last 5 years, I honestly I can't say that. So sometimes I gotta correct myself from the fighter that Saul once was to at least the performance that he's putting up right now. Okay, you didn't knock out a blown up Jamel Charlo. You had him hurt. He took the standing knee, everything. You didn't knock out Ryder. You didn't knock out Triple G. You didn't knock, so, even if if he knocks down Jaime Munguia, I would like to sit here and be like, no, that's when Saul got you. But it seems like he's not closing the show. I mean, am I saying something wrong here? Can you type R1? If I'm saying something right, can I get an R1? You guys type R1, round one, you know? So, Jaime is a live dog in the sense that I believe this fight's going to go to 12 rounds. I think the fight's going to go a full 12 rounds. And whether or not Jaime can steal enough of the first rounds and keep it close in the middle, and then if you're winning the fight, if I'm Jaime Munguia and I feel like I'm winning the fight, you're gonna have to fight a championship Canelo Alvarez at that point. He's gonna be desperate. His corner's gonna be telling him he has to knock you out, and he's gonna take more chances. At that point, Jaime Munguia is gonna have to not shy away. Don't run away from what got you there. If you can get to this point in the fight, and I believe that Jaime Munguia, he's got the frame, he's got the size, okay, and he's got a great coach. If anybody, like I said, if any coach in the world can devise a game plan to beat Canelo Alvarez in a 12-round decision, it's Freddie Roach, bro. It's Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach has coached some of the best boxers. He coached Oscar De La Hoya. He coached them all, man. He had them all. The Cottos, everybody, man. Listen, he knows. Now that's a world-class coach right there. And he knows exactly what to look for, exactly what to prepare for, and he's also probably preparing for moments in the fight, sequences. If this happens, he's preparing the young man, and while training him, he's teaching him to also believe in his training. That is very important for a fighter to believe in what you were taught. Don't get any ideas, young man. Don't do anything I didn't tell you to do. Stick to the game plan. Believe in it that I made if you do the dance the way I wrote it out for you, it will lead you to victory. And I believe that Freddie Roach is the perfect coach for that. And they gave Freddie Roach a remarkable talent. It's not like you had to start from scratch with Munguia. Nah, fucking Munguia walked in through the door a pretty good damn fucking boxer in his own right. You just had to work on some things. So Freddie Roach, he can make Munguia look a lot better in one training camp. Well, two, because he coached Munguia. He worked with him on his last fight. So now this would be the second one. So that's even more time with the guy. So I like that. I'm not sure if that's enough to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. I'm not saying that. But I am giving Munguia his credit, and you guys know how I do here. We got to give both fighters, But as for Saul Canelo Alvarez, man, Saul Canelo Alvarez at this point, he said a lot, and I can't ignore what he said. He said, and I quote, "No one beats this version of Saul Canelo Alvarez. I'm back, baby." Am I right? Can I get a round one? I'm back, baby. Right? That's what he said. No one beats this version. As far as Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's been in situations like this, but he can't allow Jaime Munguia to feel like he's winning the fight. You got to understand there's a lot of supporters in there for both men, but every time Jaime Munguia starts to throw a flurry of punches, the crowd is going to erupt. Yeah, for excitement. He can't allow the crowd to get him to continue. And while Saul Canelo Alvarez is covering up, he's setting traps for the young man. Munguia has to be able to recognize this and read these kind of things. And Saul is going to try to get his moment in the fight. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez, his jab is underrated. He's going to sneak that jab right up the middle, right on Jaime, and snap his head back. Jaime Munguia is going to try to get around that by a volume of punches. I think he's going to have a lot of nervous energy in the beginning of the fight. About the fourth round, both fighters will settle in real nice. We'll have ourselves a fight. I don't think he'll be able to finish Jaime. I think, he might have Jaime in the fight in trouble in a few situations. I see Jaime getting out of it, depending how he responds. Canelo Alvarez should be able to beat Jaime Munguia, you know, fairly well. I think now if Freddie Roach really fucking, utilizes everything that I believe Jaime can pull off, Jaime should be able to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. He should be able to beat him. You got the height, length, reach, you know, work from the outside, pepper Canelo all night. Don't go in the inside with him. You don't belong there. Push off of him when he comes closer. Keep your back off the rope and stay on your feet. But when you let him have it, switch it up, hit it. Um, um, if you see that he starts throwing the right over your jab, anticipate that and catch him with the other hand, like Naoya Inoue does to fighters. So if like what the Japanese superstar does, right? If you try to snap over his jab, right, with a right hand, he'll allow you to throw the right and then come over with that same left hand and snap you in the side of your head, like he did to Stephen Kubo Fulton. Stevie Kubo Fulton thought he was going to take away the Japanese dude's jab by going over it. And all he did was bait him, let him slip the jab this way, and popped him in the side of the head. Yeah. And Munguia, if he understands little techniques like this, you can discourage Saul Canelo Alvarez. And that can work both ways, because, like I said, my biggest concern in this fight is that one big flaw that I'm not sure if a lot of people talk about Jaime Munguia, but I see it. I see it. And if anybody's never talked about this and you've never heard that on a YouTube channel, I'm not sure if anybody's ever said it. Um, I'm telling you. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and watch Jaime Munguia's any of his highlights. Just pay attention how he throws it, his jab. Seriously, just pay attention to it. He leans into his jab. He takes his whole body with him and his chin. It's like this. It's not more tucked away, and his frame is not more this way. It's like this, right? And then he throws it and he goes like that into it. Like this. That's not good. Yeah, well, um, it's not good against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Good. That's what I mean. I mean, you can get away with that with a lot of guys. Like I say, a lot of things I talk about Terrence Crawford now, yeah, anyway, what sets those guys apart is the ability to do elite boxing shit. Not every person can do these types of things and recognize what he's doing. See, some other guys that Munguia probably fought didn't have the uh the they couldn't be like calm in the moment. You understand? they weren't reading Munguia. They were just fighting Munguia. You see, they were too busy fighting and they had too much offense and Munguia was on their ass, that they weren't recognizing shit. You see, I know when you go back and you watch the fight, those guys that fought him were like, man, an uppercut would have been beautiful right here. A check hook would have been great right here. He would have walked right into this overhand right and this way, like, because he's leaning and he's open for a lot of those big shots that I just mentioned, like really extremely opened. And even if you work on that at some point in the fight, he's going to divert right back into his old fighter. And I worry about that. Saul, and one thing about Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's tight as a fighter. He knows how to fight tight. Like when we say in Spanish, se lo dio cortito. He knows how to darle se lo cortito ahí. Real sharp and to the point. And that's what it is. Saul is a master at that. Saul knows how to fight. He doesn't need a lot of torque, a lot of fat on his punches. If he has you hurt, he'll go and, he has you hurt. But Saul's smart. He's not going to not have you hurt and then start throwing like this. No, he's going to real nice and sharp. And that's my biggest concern in this fight with Munguia. If Munguia can, take those opportunities from Saul Canelo Alvarez, really stay on his toes, keep Saul Canelo Alvarez at the end of his punches, make sure that every time you go back to your corner, you feel like you won the round and keep that momentum. What you want to do is put Saul Canelo Alvarez in a situation where he feels like he's losing and he's going to start taking more chances. So now you're going to have him attacking you. That's where you want to be. And you want to be the counter puncher. You want him throwing punches and you count off his punches. Now you got him where you want him. Because the odds of you hitting your punches versus his, you're at a higher rate. You got to be nice. You got to land him. This is his opportunity. Munguia is a professional fucking boxer. He knows how to throw a punch. So that's where you want your guy. In that exchange, pa 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 pa. And I think Munguia has enough pop in his punch to really give Saul Canelo Alvarez some trouble. Yeah. Let me read what you guys are writing here. What are we writing here? Let me write. Whoa, you guys are texting a lot here. I got Canelo as well. Yeah. Munguia gets hit a lot. I see Canelo catching him the way for the 8th round KO. I can see that, brother. Yeah, everybody got Canelo. Ain't nobody dumb. What's up? Word on the street, Ryan Garcia was last seen coming out of Diddy's house. Yo! He needed to go get the bottle of vial of stuff that he left on the nightstand the night before. All that stuff. I shouldn't have did that. Diddy, don't give me steroids. He's blaming it. He's just blaming it on Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He's getting screwed anyway. Ryan Garcia comes out next day, says he was date raped by Diddy. Yo, I believe him. Fucking Diddy, bro. Yo. Yo. Thank you, man. You have to say no to Diddy. No to Diddy. I think it's going to be a better fight than people think. I think so. Bam Bam. Yeah, I think it's going to be a better fight. You know, um, they the thing is that Munguia, it wasn't like he's a scrub. Freddie Roach had something really good to work with, and I believe, when you give a coach, that kind of fighter like that, and you had two-way training camps to work with him, you can really, change that fighter, and the fact that he knows a lot. If you tell him right, left, right, left, right, left, uppercut, he's not gonna look at you like you're lost, like he don't know with one. Give me a 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, and he ain't gonna look at you like you don't know what the fuck you're saying. He's gonna be like, okay, and he's gonna throw the selection of punches. So it's easier to work with a guy that's already has experience like that. So, if he could really like give Saul a lot of problems, like I said, like that would be my game plan. Get those first rounds when Saul is cold. Steal that first half. Keep the middle close. Saul's gonna come on. But if you can go into those championship rounds, which is 10, 11, and 12, if you can get there, entering the 10th round, if you look up and Freddie Roach tells you, we're here, kid. One, that means you're winning the fight. In their eyes, you're winning. And it's time to execute Order 66. If you know, you know, right? And that's when you're gonna have to bite down on the mouthpiece. There's no time to shy away here. You got a prime, ready, eager bull, Saul Canelo Alvarez, trying to rip your head off. It's not time to shy away. It's not time to shy away. This is when you gotta fucking do that Ryan Garcia shit in the ring. Remember when Devin Haney punched Ryan Garcia real hard in the face and Ryan smashed his gloves and was like, yeah, let's go. Like he was bringing the fight out of Ryan. Right? It was all sweet until Devin hit him and Ryan saw that he had a little power. And Ryan was like, oh, right? That's how Munguia gotta do it. Right then and there, bro. Nah. Tú quieres pelea. Tú quieres pelea. Vete. Vamos, cabrón. Huh? Tú quieres pelea. Huh? And you just bring it to him, bro. It's no time to shy away. You act like you're down on the fight. You act like you're fucking losing the fight. And that's when you go out there like a madman, like, you know what I'm saying? And because he's going to be coming at you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's not time to shy away at that point. People get knocked out like that. You ever see them? They're winning the whole fight. And they try to run for the last 2 rounds. And while evading, get caught. Boop, out. Rather than doing exactly what got them there. It's not time to get scared now. It's time to fight now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. What fight you watching right now? I'm looking at the Munguia now. Canelo is going to stop Munguia. Is going to get stopped in the 5th round. Styles make fights. And Munguia style is perfect for Canelo. We all know that, but we're trying to talk up Munguia, man. We're trying to keep hope alive, okay? All right? Because Canelo Alvarez has had a monopoly in boxing on those belts so long that there's some of us in this world that are hoping that we can destroy the Sith. You know what I'm saying? The dark forces, okay? The Jedis need to overcome here, okay? Issue Order 66. Yo. So, look, yeah, Canelo Alvarez is favored in the fight. We know that. Canelo Alvarez is more experienced in this fight. We know that. Canelo Alvarez has a better ring IQ in this fight. We know that. Right? But this is boxing. And anything, I repeat, anything can happen in boxing. These boxers, these boxing promoters, these fight cards, these matchmakers all put you in position to win the fight that you need to rise to the top. There's only one problem. You have to win those fights. Not every man is reluctant to allow you to walk over them so that you live out your dreams while they watch you live out what they would want. That's why those men are in that ring fighting for more than just a paycheck. Okay? So, in a fight, anything can happen. When you get this far up the ladder, it's where you've already watched these fighters come up. You already know a lot about these fighters, and you're at a championship fight. And if the fight goes the way it's supposed to play out, Saul is supposed to win this fight. I know that. But Munguia is a live dog. Munguia is a live dog. If we see this, if the entire world sees this, if Las Vegas, Nevada sees this, do you really think Freddie Roach does not see this? Munguia's coach? And do you really think that Freddie Roach is just going to allow that to happen? Or do you think he's going to train Munguia to also take that away from Saul Canelo Alvarez? And also take away what Saul Canelo Alvarez does good. His little pressure with that shot to the bottom, overhand right, take that away from him. Circle out, push out, hit him, step back, hit him again, trick him, bait him, hit him with feints, make him think you're backing up. Don't this time engage. Next time you act like that, really back up. He thinks you're going to engage. He'll throw some punches in the air. Shit like that. Keep him guessing. Jaime Munguia is young enough, strong enough, athletic enough, and he already started with a lot of those things that if I was Freddie Roach and I had that much coaching experience, yeah, I think I could pull it off. I got a shot. So I can't count him out. And yeah, I think that Saul Canelo Alvarez, for the fighter that he is, for the experience that he has, and let's just keep this in mind. We all talk about Jaime Munguia like if he's just like this green fighter or something. Jaime Munguia is a fucking veteran in boxing with that record that he has. He's been battle tested. He's fought, he just hasn't gotten those big fights yet. Here we are. And the stage is set. Who's going to win? I think that Mario Barrio fight had an opportunity to steal the night. But now I wonder if the guy's going to fight with that same tenacity, knowing he can't win the belt. I mean, Ryan Garcia knew he wasn't going to win the belt, and that didn't stop him in the least bit. Now, did it? So I think, yeah, he'll probably fight, But I like that fight right there. I want to watch that fight as well, And let me check out what you guys think. Yeah, you guys are right. I mean, I think so too. Saul he's a veteran, man. He's Saul Canelo Alvarez for a reason. We're axing a lot from Jaime Munguia moving up to 168 and only getting one fight. Not being so acclimated to the division and to the weight. What makes it good for me is his height. Like I said, is that he's 6 feet tall. That I don't really think it'll take anything away from his speed or his movement. He's got good height for that weight. I think he'll do it comfortably. And the way he made weight, I was like, yeah. Yo, Good, what's up, baby? How you doing? Another member, my man. How you doing, Good? I love Good. Canelo that's what you're gonna type to look stronger? Yeah, he does. He looks strong. You know he's going to the body, Good. Good. He's going to the body and he's gonna break him down, brother. All right, you know that. You know what I'm saying? That's what gave him problems in his 2 defeats. Bam Bam. You know it, just like you say, like Floyd and Demetrius Bivol did it. Mobility and volumes of punches. Mobility and if you don't let him come in the front door. You know how when guys, Saul just comes in and the guy meets him. They meet head to head or chest to chest, right? He let him walk right in. Then Saul starts to mix it up on the inside and he starts to find his way in. What was beat him was the 2 fighters that didn't let him in the front door. Mayweather and Demetrius Bivol. Every time Canelo kept, Demetrius peppered him. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, you're not coming in. Nope. And whenever he did finally get in, it was like one push off. And he kept him at the end of his punches. And he kept bang, bang, bang. Floyd was just too elusive and just way too much speed. And, Floyd's waist, his waist, most men in the world can't move like that from their waist, like Floyd was doing. You might think you were moving like Floyd. You're like, look at me. Nah, you're not moving the way Floyd was. He was like a fucking cobra. Floyd, he was just, So I don't think Munguia's like a cobra, right? But I think he can do what Demetrius Bivol did. Hands down. I think he can pull that off. Yeah, absolutely. I believe Munguia got the skills to pull off what Demetrius Bivol did. And the only thing that kept Canelo off, but yeah, I've said this before, and I got receipts on this on my channel, and I said this, that Canelo Alvarez was a little bit too blimped up for Demetrius Bivol. And Demetrius Bivol beat a smaller guy. Canelo was the smaller guy. Remember, he was moving up in weight. So it wasn't like Demetrius Bivol beat a guy on his level, on the even playing field. All he did was beat on a smaller guy. That's the truth. So Saul Canelo Alvarez went back down to his weight division, you see. But the one thing in this entire equation, I've been waiting for one person on my chat to say it all day. And I wanted somebody to mention this because I believe this is the biggest factor out of the entire equation. Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. No one has ever put him down. How are you going to put him down? If Demetrius Bivol couldn't put him down with those big punches, the biggest fighter he fought against, Floyd didn't put him down. No one put him down, bro. Triple G is one of the hardest punchers of all of boxing, bro. Triple G was folding motherfuckers like a lawn chair. They would come out the fight like, yo, what the fuck just hit me? He hits like a horse. And Canelo fought him 3 times. No problem. Eating them shots like Canelo's fucking his superpower is his chin. You're not gonna put him down. What do you guys think, in the back of your mind? He's not knocking out Canelo right here. I don't know about the body, but right here, no one put Canelo down. And that's a big worry of mine too. What do you guys think about Canelo's chin? Sweepy was a cobra. Yeah, that was a cobra. Okay, that was okay. Sweepy was a king cobra, and Floyd was a regular cobra. Okay, he was like the master cobra, and then you had the other cobra. You know what I mean? But I guess Sweepy was more like a fucking a Wolverine or something. Like Wolverines actually kill, or a mongoose. He was more like a mongoose, right? Because remember, a mongoose kills cobras, all right? And it's faster. So Floyd can be the cobra, right? And Sweet Bee's the mongoose. Because he had a little bit more skills, a little bit more like, a little bit flair about it, you know? Yeah, Boogie, what I appreciate about Canelo is he is going to make Munguia a very man. I'm gonna say that you mispronounced that, right? You misspelled that. Triple G had the style to be Canelo, but never could. Um, like I said, in order to beat Canelo in Vegas, you gotta beat Canelo. You gotta beat Canelo and the judges. So just keep that in mind. All right. Canelo's chin is hard as a rock. No diddy. Sweepy and Floyd would be classic. Yeah, Canelo has a good chin so far, has shown it. Yeah, man. Look, that's what I was concerned about too. And can Jaime even cause him to back him up in some situations? How is he gonna fare? Saul's been cracked by them all, and it doesn't seem like he's ever been bothered. You know, um, you guys might not think Floyd Mayweather can't hit hard. You would be sadly mistaken. You would be sadly mistaken. In fact, Mayweather was a knockout artist in the first half of his career before he kept breaking his hands, breaking his hands. Then he went to Japan and had that crazy surgery to his hands. And they started fighting in Vegas where you can put tape on the hand and really protect your hand and wear winning boxing gloves. They have extra padded. They actually favor for the fighter, but the star fighter, doesn't really matter if he wants to knock you out. He'll fucking just pepper you all night because he's basically hitting you with pillows. It's way harder to knock a person out with winning boxing gloves than horsehair Reyes boxing gloves. If you put a regular boxing glove, they are made out of horsehair. That's the real deal. That's easier to knock somebody out. But what Mayweather used to wear, what the Japanese dude here wears, he's wearing winning boxing gloves. Yo, the pad is like this fucking thick. It's to protect the boxer from their hands being broken, but it's going to put you kind of at a disadvantage because it's going to soften your punches up. And I just want you to know this. About 92% of all of Naoya Inoue's fights, he wore winning boxing gloves almost his entire career. He wore pillows on his hands and knocked everybody out. I just want you to realize that's how hard he hits. That when he put on horsehair gloves, remember the time they criticized him for wearing winning gloves? Because people didn't really know what else to talk about. They couldn't believe that he was just doing this. So whatever equipment he had on, even though they knew, they were like, fuck, those are winning boxing. And everyone in boxing knows what the fuck winning boxing gloves are. When they show you a pair, you go, I don't want those. It's going to be 10 times harder for me to knock the guy out with a pair of those on. Hell fucking no. Give me the fucking horsehair, the Reyes, the real deal. Come on, let's go. Right? So they accused him of that, right? Because they didn't know what else to say. So he goes and says, you want to pick up the gloves? Nonito Donaire said, I don't want to fight with winning, because he got to pick the winning gloves the first time. And Donaire cracked his orbital bone, and Donaire was winning gloves, right? So he says, now we're going to wear the Horse Reyes gloves. I dare you. Go back, watch Naoya Inoue against Nonito Donaire 2. Get back to me how that worked out for him. You can tell the difference right away when he put on horsehair gloves and he cracked Donaire the first time in the ring. Yo, he said, boop! Donaire's leg came out from underneath him. He was like, what the fuck is that? Yo, he shut his motherboard off from his waist down with one shot. He knew he was in trouble then. I bet you he wished he had those winning gloves on When he got cracked the first time by that glove, he was like, fuck, I should have left the winning gloves on. Yeah, I know it for a fact, bro. Because I wouldn't want to fucking wear them winning gloves, bro. They're pillows, man. You're helping him. And he wore those gloves probably 92% of the time in all his fights. And he still knocked everybody out like that. Yeah. It's fucking crazy how hard he hits. The redhead don't feel pain. Yo, what you saying? What you saying? Saul Canelo Alvarez is the milkman's baby? How you Mexican and have red hair? Your mother got some explaining to do. Yo, no one of your brothers and sisters have red hair. Nobody. What's going on? Yo, the guy next door is a white American dude that bought our house. He's a redhead. Yo, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's crazy. That's jokes, all jokes, all jokes. Saul, don't beat me up. You know what I mean? Hey, yo. I tell you, man. Fucking, nah. I I like this fight. The more I think about it, I go over the fight. I'm anxious to see it. Tomorrow night we're gonna get an amazing card in boxing. I'm not sure how many of you guys are gonna be up for the Naoya Inoue fight. I don't blame you. Most of us will have to get up. Either go to work or something. But if you can and you watch this fight, I'll definitely stream a little bit later on and talk about the results if you don't get an opportunity. But if you can, I encourage you to watch this fight. It's going to be a very an exciting fight. I know that the Japanese are coming to bring it, and I know the Mexicans are coming to bring it. These are two fights back to back for all four belts. You're not going to see that in a less than a week span. You're going to see two fights for undisputed status back to back. I can't remember the last time I ever witnessed anything like that. So we have a lot of boxing, and then, somewhere in between all of that, we're still going to figure out what is going to happen and transpire with Ryan Garcia. And if he takes the suspension and the fine, if they hand him down the suspension and the fine, and you hear Ryan Garcia say, yo, this is bullshit. They suspended me for a year and this much money. But all right, I guess I'll see you guys next year. That means he ain't fighting it. That means he's accepting the punishment, and that means he probably cheated. Because if you didn't do something, I wouldn't want that on my record, be labeled as a cheater. If I know 100% in my heart I didn't cheat, you're not going to attach that to my career. We're taking this to the hoop. I'm going all the way with this. We're taking it to trial. Fuck that. You're not going to label me a cheater. I'm walking around, people calling me cheater. But when the athlete basically takes the suspension and he takes the fines, he's saying that he's not fighting it. And that, they can go on, look right in the camera and say, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. They suspended me. What they're saying I had in my no, I was drinking grandma tea and Mike's Hard lemonade, right? and this shit right here is the shit that fucked me up. But Tony a year, guys. Fuck it. I'll take it. I'll fight on. When you hear shit like that, they guilty, bro. Yeah, they just accepting because you can still appeal all that shit. Why you ain't appealing it? You're not gonna fucking label me out to be a cheater and then fucking, you know what I mean? Whether or not people think John Jones is a cheater for steroids, I can commend him and respect him for taking it to trial and getting it overturned. And because of John Jones, the type of vitamin that they said that he was guilty for, or whatever, now you can use it because it didn't give you no advantages. And John Jones was like, nah, you ain't gonna label me and put me down as a cheater. My GOAT status is gonna remain prestigious. And still there's people around the world that say, nope, John Jones is a cheater. Why? Because they said he tested. You do know he took it to trial. It took him 3 years to get the court case and trial, and he finally cleared his name. So John Jones didn't lay down and go, oh, you suspended me for this amount of time? All right, cool. He didn't do that. So there's the difference. You see what I'm saying? Like Conor Ben. Conor Ben got the suspension. What'd he do? He said, I'm going to take the show on the road. I'm going to go to America. Right? He's not fighting the appeal in UK. Why don't you take the tea that you drank, bring it there and prove it? Why you ain't doing that? You know what the fuck you did. See what I'm saying? You don't want to play with these people. You really don't. You really don't, because like I told you guys, the more you say, nah, I didn't do it, they're gonna be like, oh, you didn't do it? Oh, we're gonna send it to the lab. Once they do that, it's a wrap. They'll take your urine and be able to determine when your dad took his first piss. Yo, papa. That's how anal they in. Your dad was born on such and such date, and he peed in his pamper on this date. And that's a fact, Jack. We determined that from your urine. Yo, they know every drug in the world, and they know what every drug breaks down in your body to. And no matter what it breaks down, they can break down that chemical to determine where it came from, its origin, and everything. It gets crazy, bro. Yeah, it gets real crazy. You can do a steroid 10 years ago. They can take a hair follicle out of your head and determine what year, what month you did it from your hair. You keep fighting it and saying, nah, they're gonna, yo, you done. You all done. Yeah, I know all about this. I've been all around this shit for a long time, man. And you can only say no for so long. If you guilty, it's gonna come out, bro. That's why it's better just to take the fucking. But and then what does this say about Ryan Garcia, bro? Let's not forget. Now, if we determine that yes, true indeed, he did have the steroid in his body and he used it, okay, what kind of effects did that steroid have for you? What kind of advantages did it give you? Now you're just a piece of shit. Now you're just a piece of shit because now you can't convince me that you didn't have malicious intent. You know, you can say all you want. Oh, I didn't mean to go in there and kill him. You didn't mean to kill him? So what were you meaning to do? You were meaning to go in there and whoop his ass and win the fight at what? At all cost. Killing him was a possibility. You might have not had intentionally said, I'm going to want to kill him, but by your actions, that's what this can cause things like this. You're fucking guilty. They could be charges brought up on Ryan Garcia for that, bro. And that's a shitbag move, man, because I would never support that. And if it comes out that, unfortunately, I have to, like, step away from Ryan Garcia, at that point, I would have to step away from him. Because if I was to, like, just say, all right, fuck it, let's just, it happened. He beat him. He didn't win the belt. He tested positive for steroids. Let's move on. That would be ignoring, like, it would be, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, it would be like certifying his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do that. I can't just not ignore if all the things come back, bro. No, I'm not gonna be able to walk away from it and be like, because that'll be enabling him. That'll be enabling his behavior. What it was to say that he won't do it again and take another chance at another world title and he wouldn't give a fuck about killing someone or doing that again. Nah, you don't play around with that. These fighters put their lives in the ring every day. It's bad enough that the human body wasn't designed to take punches. That a lot of these fight and a lot of these punches that you're taking, you're gonna pay for it at the tail end of your life. When you're like 65 years old and you don't recognize your wife and kids anymore. When you can't speak and you can't hold your bowels in and shit. People are interviewing you, duh, 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 and you're speaking like that, bro. You know, they pay you a lot of money for that way. You can buy all that medication so that you can live out the rest of your days fucking probably in a drug induced coma and you won't feel anything. I don't know. There's a lot of horror stories, there's a lot of great stories and stuff, with everything. Football players were like concussion protocol and hitting heads like that with helmets. And there was a lot of things behind that in the NFL. Like, it just goes to show you that the human body wasn't designed for this. We choose to fight. We choose to play these sports. And there's a penalty. There's a price to pay at the end. And on top of that, this motherfucker's using steroids, trying to fucking like really hurt me. You gotta be out of your mind. Yo, bro, on some street shit, man. I don't know, man. If that was my brother, Devin Haney was my brother, and or like that Miguel Cotto fight with Margarito. Bro, I ever find out some shit, yo, man, we might have to drive up or pull up on Margarito with some baseball bats. Yo, no, I'm not even joking, man. Yo, you just did that to my brother like that? Are you crazy? Like, man, I lose my mind, bro. That is so not cool, man. I would take that personal. I would take that so personal. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's not cool. But guys, listen, fight fans, we got ourselves a fight tomorrow night. I hope you guys tune in with me. Let's get our popcorn. Let's judge these fights. Let's have a good time. Who knows, man? You know what I mean? What's gonna happen tomorrow? But yeah, let me look over. God damn, you guys are typing today, man. Okay, I gotta back up a little bit. Back to boxing. Yeah, yo, I was thinking the same thing. Try to block this bad motherfucker. Yo, yo. Am I right? Am I right? Right? You guys started talking about some crazy shit. All right, let me scroll down. Yo, that's just crazy though. But yo, guys, man, you know how we do up in here. Yo, can we get these likes up? Can we hit these likes? Can you take your time and just give me the like, show the love? You know what I'm saying? So we can get this video out to other people so they can laugh too with us. You know what I mean? We're keeping all this to ourselves. You know? Mm. Oh, you have a story about seeing the fight? Okay. Margarito. Margarito? Yo. Yo, that he should have been kicked out of boxing a long time ago. The fact that they let that go because when sugar sh- um sh- um sh- Mosley, Sean Sugar Mosley, I'm saying his name all fucked up because of the Sugar Sean O'Malley fraud in the UFC. Want to take our sugar names. You know what I mean? Right? But Sean Mosley, when he caught him and they pulled his card on the fucking raps and shit, that was already after fucking Miguel Cotto and shit. And then Manny Pacquiao brutalized him. That Manny Pacquiao ass whooping that he took, that was fucking beautiful. I fucking loved every second of that fight. Manny Pacquiao beat the shit out of him, bro. So there was like, after that, you saw he wasn't even the same fighter. He didn't have the same power, the same snap in his punch, nothing. And then guys were getting right to him. And they were walking through his punches more when they had like their eye on him type shit. But even though that, you know, boxing's tightening up. I know a couple fighters that there was this one fighter shitbag, but he happened to be Puerto Rican, right? He from Puerto Rico. He had this coach, and I forget his name. I didn't want to remember his name in the beginning because the embarrassing thing that he was an actual Puerto Rican fighter. I was so fucking embarrassed when I came across this story, and there was this white kid. He was like some Irish kid or German or some shit. I don't know where he was from. I forget, but he was an up and comer. And if the white kid won this fight, that he was highly favored. I gotta go back and look at the names for this too. And the dude did the same shit, and he beat the shit out of the kid. And that was that white kid's last fight. He ruined his career. He was never the same man, same fighter. He looked like the Elephant Man, but his will, the white kid's will and desire to, kept him in the fight. And that dude did that shit with the cement wraps, and they cheated to beat the odds makers because he was like heavily an underdog, like an 8-1 underdog, and they cheated that night. Yeah, yo, bro, I don't want to say anything crazy, but a homeboy wouldn't be. If my career's over, your career's over. That's it. That I'll leave it like that. If mine's is over, and I found out you did it by cheating, nah, yours gotta go too. That's it. Aha! For one, Kodos would have never been undefeated because Kodos went into that fight um with his O. He would have never lost that fight. He probably would have went on and been a better champion. He would have had more confidence. When he had to go back in that ring, there's a certain points in the fight where he was starting to get hit and remember about that night and that's a beating he would have never experienced. He would have never been in that situation. And you see how Miguel Cotto talks now? He has like that sudden pause in between his speech. Oh, well, no. I think if you a counter puncher, you're a good puncher, and then if you mix it up, you can do big things, and that you see, and that's how he talks. He has, and that's I believe due in part to the damages and the punches he took, and maybe in that particular fight. Yeah, 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 man, and that's just a shitbag thing to do, brother. That's we're no longer competing. The gloves are off at that point. We taking that to the street. That's just one on it on me. That's how I was raised. That's how I would have dealt with the thing. I'm because maybe I would have dealt it with it in different, and maybe I wouldn't have been like or experienced some of the things I experienced in my life. So maybe I don't know. I would have been a boxer. I'm not a boxer. I didn't grow up as a boxer because that was taken away from me. Right? I grew up doing something else. That nah, I don't glorify or to anything, so I won't speak about it. But I was a different person. So my mind, we thinking about something else. You know what I mean? And as a boxer, a lot of boxers are dangerous. Professional boxers, when I looked at them, they're dangerous men. Yeah, you're just a professional boxer to a fucking assassin with an M16, and he's got like a fucking armor plated vest and a grenade and a rocket launcher. You're just a boxer. These guys are assassins, like, on some shit like that, right? So, but maybe my mentality would have been different, but um, that's just horrible, man. I maybe I would have felt the same way still. I don't know. I don't know. Because when you take different um trades, boxer, martial artist, you're disciplined different. So you can't really say that you think the way you would think now if you were a professional this or a professional that. That's the only way I'm thinking of it. I wouldn't. I would probably been a boxer. You know, probably wouldn't have took it to the street. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I would have been around gangsters that would have did it for me. Nah, listen. Let's talk about boxing. So listen, guys, we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover and a lot of big fights, and I'm very excited. We got, Canelo Alvarez going in, putting all four belts on the line against Jaime Munguia, and then we also have, you know, the co-main event. Which I believe, is going to be a good fight. Mario Barrios, he's going to be putting up his WBC interim title, but the other guy didn't make weight. So Jesse, uh, I think I'm not sure because remember when the guy came out and he announced it? He goes, I'm not sure if we have a fight yet. And then the guy tapped him on the shoulder and he got back on the mic and he announced, he was like, they did come to an agreement and we do have a fight. And that would have been the same offer they would have offered maybe to Devin Haney. That in this case, win, lose, or draw, you will remain the WBC interim belt, Mario Barrio, and that his opponent would not stand to win it. So, you see? So, maybe they said that, maybe they didn't. I'm not behind the scenes. Don't hold me on that. Fuck around, Mario Barrio loses the fight, and then they strip him of the belt, and he loses it, and you go, Elwin, I thought you said win, lose, or draw. He keeps his belt. No, it's whatever they discuss behind the scenes, and I'm not there. So, I'm just merely speculating on what maybe one of the offers. I'm not sure what it was, but, you know. We'll see. So anyway, fight fans, listen, love you guys. Japan's fights on ESPN. There we go. Yup. And Bam Bam, 4 o'clock in the morning, the main card starts. He should be entering the ring maybe roughly around, I don't know. I don't want you to miss the fight. I don't want to say 5 o'clock and the fucking shit speeds up and everybody knocks everybody out in the first round. I don't want to say that. But I believe Naoya Inoue should be entering the ring around 6 o'clock in the morning. That's typically around the times I've seen him fight. It's always around 6. The last fight against Tapales kicked off fairly earlier, and I remember that. I remembered that. And I had missed, like, I think all the fights leading into that. I didn't even see none of the co-main events on that fight. I happened to wake up, and Naoya and him were, like, walking to the ring, I remember. Yeah, and that was, like at 5:30 in the morning, his last fight. So the fight where he had with Stephen Kubo Fulton that kicked off at like later, much later. It kicked off at like 6:30. He didn't get into the ring until like 9 o'clock in the morning here. But I don't know. But it's being announced, and I looked it up. It's the main card starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. In the Tokyo Arena, which is roughly around 9, 10 o'clock out there at night. So it's a walk in the park. It's gonna be a brutal walk in the park for now for Luis Nari. He's not gonna like to walk through that park. It might be a good park for Naoya anyway, but Luis Nari's gonna get beat up all through that park. He's gonna be running around the park going, "I don't like the park." Fuck this park, bro. Yo, shit is stirring up in boxing. Yeah. Did they get into it? Oh my God, bro. Now I gotta go on YouTube and check that out. When did they get into it? What? It was like in the back scene? Everybody wants a shot at Canelo. You know that. That's the lottery fight. That's the lottery fight. You know? Central Park. Yo, Luis Nari rather walks through Central Park right now with gasoline underwear on, right? Than fight Naoya Inoue in that Tokyo arena. Listen, fight fans, I love you guys. This has been an amazing episode here at Round One Sports Talk. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a like on your way out. And if you want to know when I'm gonna click go live on these fights, click that bell notification icon and it'll alert you when I'm going live. All right, fight fans, have a good one. Be good to each other, and I'll see you guys at the fights.